In today's video, see how I fix up my messy planner. Okay, so this is the final video in my 2020 planner setup series. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there's a link to a playlist down below and you can go check it out. Let's get started. Today, what we're talking about is having a messy planner. And I'm not accusing you of having a messy planner. That is up to you to decide if you do or not. But I did. I had a very messy planner. Not a very messy planner, I guess. Just there was things about it that I didn't like. I just didn't feel confident about my planner. I feel much more confident about this one than I ever did this one. So in about August, I started thinking about what I wanted to do for my next planner for the 2020 planner. I always want, I guess, a nice, clean, fresh-looking planner. And I took some time and I thought about it and I looked very carefully at this planner and I thought about things that I liked and I did not like and how I was going to make this one cleaner and fresher and just something I could be proud of. And so I started to think about my changes and started making a plan for that. Okay, so what I would like to do is I would like to go through this planner first and show you 5 things in this planner that I did not like. And then when we're done with that, we'll go through this planner, and this is my 2020 planner, and we'll go through it and I'll share with you what I do like and what I feel better about. Okay, so here we go. Okay, this is my 2019 planner. The first thing I want to show you is how this dashboard is beat up. It's not bad. It's just, kind of bent down at the bottom, and it's the dots are kind of getting worn off and stuff. That's not really a bad thing, but it's just getting around the edges a little bit. It does make it messy looking though. Do you see how the pages are coming over the lever of my rings? That's because they are cut to half letter and not to A5. And I've said in my videos many times that that does not bother me. And it really, really doesn't. It doesn't. I can flip the pages. It doesn't get in the way. Only when I go to like pop something open, it's a little in the way. But otherwise, for day-to-day life when I'm flipping through it, it's really not a big deal. But I do think, I did decide that if I had trimmed it to A5, that would make it just look a little bit nicer and lay better. Number 2. Okay, number 2 is the messy notes. This one is not bad, actually. It's behind this, it's on the left side of the page, so you don't really it's not like cluttering up the front of the divider, but like how this one, this is kind of cute because this is what my daughter wrote, and so I kind of tucked it in there. But if it was something else, I would say that I wouldn't want it there, but I like it there because it reminds me of her and that she wrote it and she wants these muffins, and I think that's sweet. Okay, so the other thing that I want to show you is these tabs here. When I created them, I wasn't really sure what I was wanting to do, and I wasn't 100% sure on my categories. And so I didn't want anything that was permanent, and I didn't want to tack it down, just in case I wanted to quickly remove it and change it to something else. So I was just kind of testing the waters here. And so that was fine. And so in my other planner, I'll show you how I made this a little bit better. It looks nicer and a little bit more sturdy. Let's move on to number 3. For a while, I saw planner people doing this, and I've done it myself. and you know, where you punch the hole and then you snip it so that you can pop it in and out. Okay, I love this. I love that, except for a couple of things. One is, especially on a page like this where I was turning it a lot, I really should have printed this out on a sturdier paper, like not standard paper, probably anything above that. And then the other thing is that my planners are always, you know, super full. And so that makes it really difficult for standard paper to hold up against the abuse of turning and all of that. But I do like, you know, I do like the idea of cutting them like this and then like having a stack of these and then just popping them in when you need them. I love that. But it needs to be on sturdier paper, and I need to take a few pages out of my planner so that I can turn it without damaging the paper. Actually, I want to hold on to number 3 too, so I can come back to that. Now let's talk about number 4. On this page, what I'm wanting to show you is how there's like too many crazy washies on the page. I thought this would be cute to overlap it and have it across colors. I think actually it would have if I would have done either the top or the bottom. But it's too much. And then with these little guys, they're cute, but it's too much. I think the snowmen and the snowflakes are fine. I should have put some snowflakes over here and left these guys out and put them on a different one or something, or left these out. I don't know, but too much washi going on. And so one thing that I realized is that sometimes we need to just step away from things that may not be our strong suits. And that for me is washi. I do okay. Like, I think that's okay up there. Like, this is super cute. I think that would have been cute. And I think if I'd have done this like in a solid color, that would have been fine. And then maybe if I would have just done the green, I think that would have calmed it down. But I don't know. It's just a little bit crazy, I think. And then, you know, there's like several colors going on. I mean, it's just, it's a little bit much. I have decided to stop using washi for a little while and just use it for functional purposes. And number 5 is this one. Okay, now to be fair, the one that we were just on, that was a weekly page. I don't know if there's a monthly page in here to show you. That's not that. Okay, this is a monthly page. Okay, this is the December monthly page, and it's a little bit on the plain side because I usually rely on the monthly page in my Christmas planner more. And that is what this page is, which is why it's a little bit more festive than a lot of my other pages. But even still, it's too busy and it could be a lot prettier. So if I could redo this page and fix some of the things, here's some things that I would fix. This is like where I was marking Tim's trip. Instead of doing the washi, I would just do a gray line across because I want to remember it, but it's not like significant to Christmas. And so I just did it like that because red is his color in my color coding stuff. So, okay, but I would change it to a gray line. I would kick out the green. I would kick out the polka dot. I would move the striped down to the bottom. I think that would be really cute. And then the red down to Christmas break. And then probably have nothing at the top or like throw in a couple of cute little Christmassy style stickers of some sort. And then this part here where I'm talking about, you know, the Christmas movies that we want to watch. Well, first thing was, it was a pack that was almost done. and I wanted to finish it out, and I thought the colors would be fun for Christmas. And actually they kind of go with this striped, but it's a little crazy and a little bit much going on. I think if I had kicked out the yellow and the blue and just done the green and the pink, or done the green and the blue, I think that might have been a little bit cuter. But if I was doing it over again, I would do like some kind of small post-it note over here and put these videos together on one instead of having all these separate and very busy tabs. But at the time I was just trying to use these up, and I thought it was a fun way to use it, and it was. And it really didn't bother me that much at the time. It's now looking back on it. What I do like is how I did these, and I'm not even sure how I did that. This might be something that I printed myself, actually. It's not awful. It's just, this is a little crazy. And the stickies along the side, I think I would, do a smaller post-it note and write it a little bit nicer. So that's it for this one. Okay, so that's the 5 things that, I thought about my planner that I would like to change. That's it for the 2019 planner. Now let's take a look at the 2020 planner. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about in this section is how I am now properly trimming my pages to fit in my planner. Up until now, when I moved from half letter to A5, at first I was trying to trim them, but when I was creating pages so frequently, I just decided to leave them and save myself some time. You can see that here in my 2019 planner. I think you can see here the difference in the two planners. The 2019 planner is just fine the way that it is. It's not that big of a deal, but the 2020 planner just looks tidier at the bottom. So trimming my pages down to A5 is definitely a habit that I've got to get used to. Since January, there have been a few times when I've needed to put some pages in my planner, and then I've accidentally left them half letter instead of trimming them down to A5. What I'm doing with that is just waiting until my quarterly planning, and then I just trim whichever ones are too long, and then that's just that works out perfectly. But I think the change is worth the effort. My planner just looks tidier in this area. The next thing that I want to share with you is this dashboard. When I updated my planner from quarter 1 to quarter 2, I trimmed off the bottom just a little bit. It was getting a little bent and a little messed up, and so I just trimmed it off, and that's what I'll do again when we switch quarters, is check it and see if it's looking a little beat up and trim off whatever I need to, and then eventually I'll switch out the page if it gets too beat up. So let's see, where's number 2? Number 2. Okay. Okay, number 2. Now I'm making a more conscious effort to keep my sticky notes on the left side of the page and to take my time and write my post-it notes a little bit neater. Also, what I want to point out is that like this is the dashboard, and then this is the divider, and it's basically 2 pages, and you can see down in there how I, it's a sticky tab just like the other one, except for I secured it with a piece of packing tape, and then I put this over the top of it, this paper over the top of it, and to make it a little bit neater. If you look at my previous videos in this series, you will see that that is exposed, and there's nothing wrong with it. It was fine, but this is definitely a cleaner look. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, so one thing that makes a planner look messy is handwriting, and I do not have the neatest handwriting. This is pretty good for me, actually. It's definitely an improvement to some of the other stuff that I've done. A couple of the things that I do to help with my own handwriting situation I will share with you that I feel like it does make a big difference. The first one is I use erasable pens. Here's my friction pen. That is what I use all the time and I love it. They're my favorite. I've been using them for a long time. It helps to have the erasable pens. The next one is be aware of how much space you have. If something needs to take up 2 lines, then let it take up 2 lines. It's better to do that than to crowd your letters and make it messy. Number 3 is lines. Okay, I include lines that go on the back of like all of my things. The back of this one. Oh, this I was doing my months back to back. There, lines. Okay, so I'm always putting lines on the back of things because I just want whoever's buying whatever it is from me to have that option available. You might decide that you don't need the lines, and that's totally fine. You just want a blank piece of paper and save the ink. That's totally cool. I just want you to have the option. But if you're having handwriting issues and you want to help that situation around, what I've seen people do, I do not do this. I thought it kind of looked like I did on this page because everything was so straight, but I did not do that. So what some people could do is they'll stick a lined piece of paper behind a non-lined piece of paper and write their information and then pull it out and then it's all nice and straight and pretty. Okay, the next thing that I want to share with you that helps out a lot when you have messy handwriting is stickers. I love to use stickers in my planning. I like to use them for like at the tops of my pages as like column headers or to remind me of something that I might do frequently, like cleaning or working out. I will link down below a few of the sticker shops that I like to use. I think that the stickers help balance things out and make things look a little bit cleaner and neater on the page. I think it breaks up the messy handwriting and makes it a little less noticeable. Let's go to number 4. Okay. So, as you can see, these days I'm going for a little bit cleaner look with the washi, and I think that was a good, smart move. I'm not, instead of using washi, on this one, and dividing out the spaces, I did that on several layouts, and it just did not look good. On this one, I used my gray mild liner highlighter, and I just blocked off this section, left this one, and then blocked this section, and I liked it. It worked really good. Okay, let's go to number 5. Okay, you can see between these two the consistency of the blue color. I had decided that I was going to stick with blue, green, like light blue, light green, and gray, and just really calm colors. I mean, occasionally I will use a yellow post-it note. Sticking with a few basic colors really helped me clean up my layouts. Okay, so that is it for the Messy Planner video. I think a lot of the changes that I have made from 2019 to 2020 have been a huge help. And as I'm looking at this, I'm now seeing changes that I could make going from 2020 to 2021. I think it's really important to be honest with yourself when you're looking at your planner and know your limitations, what you can do and what you cannot do. I know that I am never going to have neat, pretty, lovely handwriting, and that is okay because I have, access to, Etsy and shops on Etsy that can make pretty stickers that can help things out, and I have other strategies that can at least help the situation. And I'm okay with that, and the important thing is that it's not about being pretty, even though I do like pretty pages. It's about me getting my plans on the page and then being productive and getting things done. That is what it's about. But I still, at the end of the day, want a nice, clean, pretty planner that does all of those things. So I will never stop trying to have a neater, tidier, cleaner planner. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope that you got something out of it. And thank you so much for sticking with me through this video. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And then when you're done with that, come over to Instagram and say hello. Take care.